Bandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakanaragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivashikam Vitamscha Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnana Chana Shalakya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurakam Guruganarasisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Vande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavad Premno Ibija Pranam Devam Divyat Tanum Suchanda Varanam Balarka Shailanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Sudbhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Banditam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shridharam Vanshakopatarubyas Chakripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Madhya-lila, chapter 8, talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Ramananda Raya. Can you turn on that light there? It's a small string. No. Sancharya Rama Bida Bhakta Mege Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Chayamritani Garabdir Etar Amuna Vitirnais Tazgyadva Ratna Layatam Prayati. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gauranga, is the ocean of all conclusive knowledge and devotional service. He empowered Sri Ramananda Raya, who may be likened to a cloud of devotional service. This cloud was filled with the water of all the conclusive purports of devotional service and was empowered by the ocean to spread this water over the sea of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Thus the ocean of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became filled with the jewels of the knowledge of pure devotional service. So this is the first verse in Sanskrit, which gives a resume of the chapter, or the important point of the chapter. And Sri Ramananda Raya this chapter is very singular. I mean, it's a very important chapter in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, one of the most important chapters. And it deals with a conversation between Sri Ramananda Raya and Mahaprabhu. And here, in this first verse, it mentions that Ramananda Raya is like a cloud. So the cloud becomes filled with water due to evaporation, and it's taking the water from the sea. And then the cloud forms, and then the cloud pours water back on the sea in the form of rain. So Mahaprabhu is like the ocean. He's the source of all conclusive truths. So he all Siddhanta, everything is residing in Mahaprabhu. But Ramananda Raya is actually taking all of his knowledge and conclusions from that source. And then Mahaprabhu asks questions of Ramananda Raya, as if Ramananda Raya is the guru, and Ramananda Raya answers Mahaprabhu's questions. And in the beginning, Mahaprabhu is asking, what is the perfection of life? Then Ramananda Raya starts progressively answering. And in the beginning, Mahaprabhu says, Ehobayagi Kohoar. This is external. Go on to something higher. Go on to something higher. Deal with some, bring up, and the conversation progressively evolves to higher and higher considerations of devotional service. And Mahaprabhu is actually prompting Ramananda Roy. But at the same time, later when Mahaprabhu speaks to Sanatana Rupa Goswami when in Prayag and in Varanasi, he says, whatever I'm speaking is what I heard from Ramananda Roy. So this first verse is very important in understanding what's actually happening in this chapter. Mahaprabhu is the ocean of all conclusive truths. Ramananda Roy is like the cloud that becomes filled with water from the ocean, and then pours rain back down upon the ocean. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaurabhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purve Rite Prabhu Age Gamana Korila Jiyarana Shinga Ketre Katadine Gela. According to his previous program, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went forward on his tour and after some days arrived at the place of pilgrimage known as Jiyarana Shringa. The Shringa Dekiya Koila Dandavat Pranati Premaveshe Koila Bahu Nritya Gita Stuti. Upon seeing the deity of Lord Nrsinga in the temple, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his respectful obeisances by falling flat. Then in ecstatic love he performed various dances, chanted, and offered prayers. Sri Nrsinga Jaya Nrsinga Jaya Jaya Nrsinga Pralada Desha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. All glories to Nrsingadev. All glories to Nrsingadev, who is the Lord of Prahlad Maharaj, and like a honeybee, is always engaged in beholding the lotus-like face of the goddess of fortune. Ugropi anugra evayam svabhaktanam mundri keshari. Ugropi anugra evayam svabhaktanam nrikeshari. Keshariva swapotanam anyesham ugra vikrama. Although very ferocious, the lioness is very kind to her cubs. Similarly, although very ferocious to non-devotees like Hiranyakashipu, Lord Nrsingadev is very, very soft and kind to devotees like Prahlad Maharaj. Emata nana shlok paristuti koila Nrsinga sevakam mala prasada anidila. In this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited different verses from the Shastra. The priest of Lord Nrsingadev then brought garlands and the remnants of the Lord's food and offered them to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purvavat kona vipre koilani mantran seradri tahan rahe korila gaman. As usual, a Brahmin offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu an invitation. The Lord passed the night in the temple and then commenced his tour again. Utiya Prabhu Chalila Premaveshe Digbidik Nahi Gyan Ratri Divase. The next morning, in the great ecstasy of love, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started on his tour with no knowledge of the proper direction, and he continued the whole day and night. Purvavat Vaishnava Kore Sarva Lokane Godavari Tire Prabhu Aila Katadine. As previously, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted to Vaishnavism many people he met on the road. After some days, the Lord reached the banks of the river Godavari. Godavari Deki Hoila Jamuna Smaran Tireban Deki Smriti Hoila Brindavan. When he saw the river Godavari, the Lord remembered the river Jamuna. And when he saw the forest on the bank of the river, he remembered Sri Vrindavan Dham. Sebane Katakan Kore Nrityagan Godavari Parahoya Tahan Koilasnan. After performing his usual chanting and dancing for some time in the forest, the Lord crossed the river and took his bath on the other bank. Gatachari kata dure jala sanidane, basi prabhu kore Krishna nama sankirtane. After bathing in the river, the Lord walked a little distance from the bathing place and engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna. Hinakale dolai chari Ramananda Raya, snana kori bariyala, bhajana bhajai. At that time, accompanied by the sounds of music, Ramananda Roy came there on a palanquin to take his bath. Tarasange bahu aila baidikya brahman, bidimate koilateho snanadi tarpan. Many Brahmins following the Vedic principles accompanied Ramananda Roy. According to the Vedic rituals, Ramananda Roy took his bath and offered oblations to his forefathers. Prabhu tare deki janila e ramarai, tahare milite prabhur mana utidai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand that the person who had come to bathe in the river was Ramananda Roy. The Lord wanted so much to meet him that his mind immediately began running after him. Tatapi daryadari Prabhu rohila basya Ramananda ila purva sannyasi dekiya. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was running after him mentally, he patiently remained sitting. Ramananda Roy, seeing the wonderful sannyasi, then came to see him. Surya Shata Samakanti Aruna Basan Subalita Prakandareho Kamala Lochan. Srila Ramananda Roy then saw Mahaprabhu to be as brilliant as 100 suns. The Lord was covered by a saffron garment. He was large in body and very strongly built, and his eyes were like lotus petals. Dekiyatahara mane hoila chamatkar Asiya korila dandavat namaskar. When Ramananda Roy saw the wonderful sannyasi, he was struck with wonder. He went to him and immediately offered his respectful obeisances, falling down flat like a rod. Ute Prabhu kohe uta kaha Krishna Krishna, tare anlingite Prabhu hridaya satrishna. The Lord stood up and asked Ramananda Roy to arise and chant the holy name of Krishna. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very eager to embrace him. Tatapi puchila tumi raya Ramananda teho kohe sehana dasha shudramanda. Tatapi puchila tumi raya Ramananda teho kohe sehana dasha shudramanda. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then inquired whether he was Ramananda Roy, and he replied, "Yes, I'm your very low servant, and I belong to the Shudra community." Tabe tare koila Prabhu dridanlingan premaveshe Prabhu britya dohe achaitan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Sri Ramananda Roy very firmly. Indeed, both the master and the servant almost lost consciousness due to ecstatic love. So Mahaprabhu had been asked to meet Ramananda Roy by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who, because he was an impersonalist before, couldn't appreciate who Ramananda Roy was. But after Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became converted by Mahaprabhu, he could understand that Ramananda Roy was in actuality a great devotee. So he asked Mahaprabhu to meet him. And Mahaprabhu, when he came there and he was looking for Ramananda Roy, he understood that was Ramananda Roy, and Mahaprabhu asked him who he was, and was he Ramananda Roy? And then Ramananda Roy replied, "Yes, I'm your very low servant, and I belong to the Shudra community." So something, in Mexico, when you call somebody and they answer the phone, and you ask for the person who's answering the phone, you ask is for this person, and they reply, "Yes, your servant is speaking. Habla tu serviente." So that is a sign of culture. That is a sign of real culture. And that's the way Ramananda Roy replies when Mahaprabhu asked him, "Are you Ramananda Roy?" "Yes, I am your servant, although I belong to the Shudra community." Actually, what he's saying, he's not a Brahmin, but he's a government officer. It means he's like a Vaishya in the service of the government. But he considers himself, calls himself a Shudra, to indicate I'm in a fallen position. Tabitari Koila Prabhu Drida Lingan Primaveshe Prabhu Britya Dohe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Sri Ramananda Roy very firmly. Indeed, both the master and the servant almost lost consciousness due to ecstatic love. Sabhavika Prema Dohar Uday Korila Duha Lingya Duhe Bhumite Padila. Their natural love for each other was awakened in them both, and they embraced and fell to the ground. Srila Ramananda Roy was an incarnation of the Gopi Vishaka. Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Lord Krishna himself, there was naturally an awakening of love between Vishaka and Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a combination of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, and the Gopi Vishaka is the principal Gopi assisting Srimati Radharani. Thus, the natural love between Ramananda Roy and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awakened and they embraced. Stambhasveda Ashrukampa Pulaka Vaivarnya Duhara Mukete Shuni Gadgara Krishna Barna. When they embraced each other, ecstatic symptoms, paralysis, perspiration, tears, shivering, paleness, and standing up of the bodily hairs appeared. The word Krishna came from their mouths falteringly. Dikiya Brahmana Ganer Hoila Chamatkar Vaidika Brahmans Sub Korana Bichar. When the stereotype ritualistic Brahmins who were following the Vedic principles saw this ecstatic manifestation of love, they were struck with wonder. All these Brahmins began to reflect as follows. So there's many ritualistic Brahmins that follow Ramananda Roy. They're employed by the government, and he's the government officer, and they do perform many functions, like ritualistic functions. So they're accompanying Mahaprabhu. But when Mahaprabhu is, they're accompanying Ramananda Roy. But when Mahaprabhu is an unknown sannyasi to them, embraces Ramananda Roy, who's like the governor, then they're struck with wonder because they're both shivering with ecstatic symptoms. And these ritualistic Brahmins can't understand what is going on. Eta Sanyasira Tejadeki Brahmasam Shudre Alingya Kene Korana Krandan. The Brahmins thought, we can see that this sannyasi has a luster like the effulgence of Brahman, but how is it he is crying upon embracing a Shudra, a member of the fourth caste in the social order? A Maharaj Mahapandita Gambhir Sanyasira Sparshe Mata Hoila Astir. They thought this Ramananda Roy is the governor of Madras, a highly learned and grave person, a Mahapandit, but upon touching this sannyasi, he has become restless like a madman. So they can't understand what's happening. Here's in those days, people who were just government officers, they were considered Shudras. But at the same time, Ramananda Roy is not just an ordinary person. He's like the governor, and they're thinking, how is this? That he's a very serious man, and who is this unknown sannyasi, and the governor is embracing him and trembling. And this sannyasi, who's sannyasi is becoming also very, ecstatic upon embracing this ordinary person, this Shudra, this government officer. What's going on here? They cannot understand. Emata Vipragan, Bhave Maneman, Vijay, Tia, Lokadeki, Prabhu Koilas, Samvaran. While the Brahmins were thinking this way about the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw those outsiders and restrained his emotions. Shushtahoya duhe se stanete basila tabeha se Mahaprabhu kohete lagila. When they regained their sanity, they both sat down, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and began to speak as follows. This chapter, Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, in his later days, he would meditate upon this chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's very important. And Srila Govinda Maharaj has explained that Mahaprabhu may be Krishna covered with the sentiments of Srimati Radharani, but still no one can actually preach the glories of Radha and Krishna without the blessings of the gopis. And in particular, there are two main gopis, Lalita and Vishaka. And Lalita is very, very inclined to Srimati Radharani fanatically. And Vishaka is a little more neutral and inclined also to, and is equipoised with Krishna, although she's very dedicated to Radharani. So it is natural that Mahaprabhu will seek the blessings of Ramananda Raya, who's Vishaka, because he wants those blessings. So, and Vishaka is a little more neutral to Krishna, whereas Lalita, whose role is taken by Swarup Damodar, and later he will come to meet Mahaprabhu, but Vishaka is a little more, her mood towards Krishna is a little more neutral, or not so fanatic in favor of Radharani. Anyway, when they regained their sanity, they both sat down, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and began to speak as follows. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya Kohila Tomare Gune Tomare Milite More Korila Jatane. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya spoke of your good qualities, and he made a great endeavor to convince me to meet you. Toma Milibare More Eta Agaman Balo Hoila Anayase Pailun Darshan. Indeed, I have come here to meet you. It is very good that even without making an effort, I have gotten your darshan here. I've gotten your interview here. That's how it's translated. But darshan means, we know what darshan is. When you get someone's darshan, they get to see that, be with that person. Raya kohe sarvabhauma kore britya gyan Parakseha morahite hoy sabadan. Okay. Rayako he sarvabhauma kore brityagan parokeha morahite hoy sabadan. Ramananda Raya replied, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya thinks of me as his servant. Even in my absence, he is very careful to do me good. So Ramananda Raya says, Sarvabhauma is always engaging me, and he thinks of me with much affection. So he's always trying to do something good for me. So it's a very humble position taken by Ramananda Raya. Tara kripai painu tomar darshan, haji safala hoila mora manusya janam. By his mercy I have received your darshan here. Consequently, I consider that today I have become a successful human being. Sarvabhauma tomar kripa tara e china sprisha sparshile hoya tara primadina. I can see that you have bestowed special mercy upon Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Therefore you have touched me, although I am untouchable. This is due only to his love for you. So immediately Ramananda Raya could understand Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has changed. Before he was an impersonalist. Now he can see by the association of Mahaprabhu, he can understand that Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya has been converted to Vaishnavism. Kahan tumi sakat Ishwara Narayan, Kahan mui Rajasebi, Vishaye Sudranam. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan himself, and I am only a government servant interested in materialistic activities. Indeed, I am the lowest among men of the fourth caste. Murasparshe na korile grina vedabai, Muradarshan toma vede nishedai. You do not fear the Vedic injunction stating that you should not associate with a Shudra. You were not contemptuous of my touch, although in the Vedas you are forbidden to associate with Shudras. Tomar kripaya tomai koraya nindya karma sakat ishwara tumi jay sakat ishwara tumi ke jane tomara marma. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Therefore no one can understand your purpose. By your mercy, you are touching me, although this is not sanctioned by the Vedas. Amanishtarite tomariha agaman paramadoyalu tumi patita pavan. You have come here specifically to deliver me. You are so merciful that you alone can deliver all fallen souls. Mahanta swabhave tarite pamar nijakarya nahi tabu jana taragar. It is the general practice of all saintly people to deliver the fallen. Therefore they go to people's houses, although they have no personal business there. Mahad vichalanam nrinam grihinam dinachedasam nishreya saya bhagavan nanyata kopate kvachit. My dear Lord, sometimes great saintly persons go to the homes of householders. Although these householders are generally low-minded, when a saintly person visits their homes, one can understand that it is for no other purpose than to benefit the householders. Amara Sange Brahmanadi Sahasreka Jan Tomaradarshane Savar Drave Bhutaman. Along with me there are about 1,000 men, including the Brahmins, and all of them appear to have had their hearts melted simply by seeing you. Krishna Krishna Namashuni Sabara Badane Sabar Anga Pulakita Ashrunayane. I hear everyone chanting the holy name of Krishna. Everyone's body is thrilled with ecstasy, and there are tears in everyone's eyes. Akritye prakritye tomar ishvara lakan jivena sambhabe e aprakrita gun. My dear Lord, according to your behavior and bodily features, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is impossible for ordinary living beings to possess such transcendental qualities. Prabhu kohe tumi maha bhagavatotama tomar darshane sabar drava hoilaman. The Lord replied to Ramananda Raya, you are the best of the topmost devotees. Therefore, simply the sight of you has melted everyone's heart. That's why everyone's ecstatic, because they're in your association. Mahaprabhu tells him, you're a Mahabhagavata, you're a very high devotee. That's why everyone's very happy and ecstatic, by being in your association. Anyera ki kata ami mayavadi sannyasi amiya tomara sparshe Krishna premivashi. Although I am a Mayavadi sannyasi, a non-devotee and impersonalist, I'm also floating in the ocean of love of Krishna simply by touching you, and what to speak of others. Ejani katina mora hridaya shodite sarvabhauma kahilena tomare milite. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya knew this would happen, and thus to rectify my heart, which is very hard, he asked me to meet you. So Ramananda Raya is saying, everyone here, they're all showing signs of love of Godhead, and they're chanting the name of Krishna, and that's because of you. And Mahaprabhu says, no, this is because you are Mahabhagavata, and this is the vision you have. So, Emata duhe stute kore duhar gun, duhe duhara darshane ananditaman. In this way, each of them praised the qualities of the other, and both of them were very pleased to see each other. Hinakale Baidika Ek Vaishnava Brahman Dandavat Kore Koila Prabhure Nimantran. At this time, a Brahman Vaishnava, following the Vedic principles, came and offered obeisances. He fell flat before Mahaprabhu and invited him for lunch. Nimantrana Manila Tare Vaishnava Janiya Ramanande Kohe Prabhu Ishadhasya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the invitation, knowing the Brahman to be a devotee, and slightly smiling, he spoke as follows to Ramananda Raya. Tomara muke Krishna kata shunite hoiman punarapi pai jena tomaranarshan. I wish to hear from you about Lord Krishna. Indeed, my mind is inclined to desire this. Therefore, I wish to see you again. Rayako he ailajani pamara shodite darshan matre shudana he mora dushtachite dina pancha shata rahe koraha marjan tabe shuda hoy mor e dushtaman. Ramananda Raya replied, My Lord, although you have come to correct me, a fallen soul, my mind is not yet purified simply by seeing you. Please stay for 5 to 7 days and kindly cleanse my polluted mind. After that much time, my mind will certainly be pure. Jajapi vicheda dohar sohana najai tadapi dandavat kore chalila ramarai. Although neither could tolerate separation from the other, Ramananda Raya nonetheless offered his obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and departed. Prabhu Jai se vipragare bhikka koila duijanar utkantaya ashi sandhya hoila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the house of the Brahmin who had invited him and took his lunch there. When the evening of that day arrived, both Ramananda Raya and the Lord were eager to meet each other again. Prabhu snan kritya kore achena vasya ek britya sange rai mililasya. After finishing his evening bath, Mahaprabhu sat down and waited for Ramananda Raya to come. Then Ramananda Raya, accompanied by one servant, came to meet him. Namaskara Koila Rai Prabhu Koila Lingane Duijane Krishna Kata Rai Rahastane. Ramananda Raya approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and offered his respectful obeisances, and the Lord embraced him. Then they began to discuss Krishna in a secluded place. Prabhu Kohe Parashloka Sadyara Nirnoy Rayako He Swadharma Charane Vishnu Bhakti Hoy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Ramananda Raya, recite a verse from the revealed scriptures concerning the ultimate goal of life. Ramananda replied, if one executes the prescribed duties of his social position, he awakens his original Krishna consciousness. Varnashramachara Varnashramacharvata Purushena Parapuman Vishnur Aradyate Panta Nanyatad Toshakaranam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashrama. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must be situated in the institution of the 4 Varnas and Ashramas. So, 4 Varnas are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And the 4 Ashramas are Sannyas, Brahmachari, Grihastha or householder, and also Vanaprastha. So these are Sannyas, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. And now these 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas, the society is divided by 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas, but they're not by birth. They are by the qualities of the individual and the work that that person is doing. So or in other words, by qualities and activities. So Brahman is the intellectual class. It's supposed to be this way. Of course, it degenerated over time, and somehow people were thinking these orders were by birth, but they are not. And anyway, Mahaprabhu did not abide by these 4 varnas and ashramas because he made Haridas Thakur the Namacharya, although Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family. So Mahaprabhu's devotees come from all sections of the society. They're not observing any system of But as Ramananda Roy quotes, the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas are supposed to assist somebody in their gradual development in life. So he says, when Mahaprabhu asked, the question is by Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Roy, recite a verse from the revealed scriptures concerning the ultimate goal of life. What's the goal of life? Ramananda replied, if one executes the prescribed duties of his social position, he awakens his original Krishna consciousness. And then he says, Varnashrama charavata purushena parapuman vishnura rajyate panta nanyat tat toshakaranam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashrama. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Lord. One must be situated in the institution of the 4 Varnas and Ashramas. Prabhu kohe ehobaya age kohoar raya kohe krishne karmarpana sarva sadyasar. The Lord replied, this is external. You had better tell me of some other means. Ramananda Roy replied, to offer the results of one's activities to Krishna is the essence of all perfection. So whatever you do it for the service of the Lord. Yat karoshi yadashnashi yad jahoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi konteya tat kurushva mad arpanam. This is from Bhagavad Gita. Ramananda Roy continued, my dear son of Kunti, that's Arjuna, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, whatever you give in charity, and whatever austerities you perform, all the results of such activities should be offered to me, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, whatever you give in charity, whenever austerities you perform, all the results of such activities should be offered to me, Krishna. So, who is the Lord himself. So, basically, Krishna is saying, offer everything, offer to me everything. And this will be for your benefit. Prabhu kohe ehobaya age kohar raya kohe swadharma tyag es sadyasar. This is also external, Mahaprabhu said. Please proceed and speak further on this matter. Ramananda Roy replied, to give up one's occupational duties in the Varnashram system is the essence of perfection. So what this means is give up your external activities and engage yourself simply in the service of the Lord. Agyayaivam gunandoshan mayadishtan apisvakan dharman santyajya sarvan mambajet sacha sattama. Ramananda Roy continued, occupational duties are described in the religious scriptures. If one analyzes them, one can fully understand their qualities and faults and then give them up completely to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person is considered a first-class man. Sarvadharmam parityajam hamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami mahashucha. As stated in Scripture, after giving up all kinds of religious and occupational duties, if you come to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and take shelter, I will give you protection from all of life's sinful reactions. Do not worry. So we're always quoting this verse. It seems it is, of course, very important. Just give up all your prescribed duties and surrender to me. I will then take responsibility for you. The Lord is saying this from Bhagavad Gita. So this seems very natural, but Prabhu kohe eho maya age kohoar, Raya kohe jnana mishra bhakti sadyasar. So, after hearing Ramananda Roy speak in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again rejected his statement and said, "Go ahead and say something more." Ramananda Roy then replied, "Devotional service mixed with empiric knowledge is the essence of perfection." So, we've also heard, why did Mahaprabhu reject this conclusion? Sarva dharmam parijya mamekam sharanam rajaham tvam sarva papabhyo mokshayashyami mashucha. That seems perfect. Give up all your so-called external duties and just surrender to me. I will give you all protection. But Mahaprabhu says this is external. And why? Because without actual understanding one's relationship with Krishna and without engaging oneself under the direction of a pure devotee or under the direction of a Vaishnava, one will not know what to do. So that's an imperfect position. You can't, one should not just give up all other duties to superficially surrender to the Lord. One needs the guidance of a devotee. Brahmabhut then, after hearing Ramananda Roy speak in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again rejected his statement and said, "Go ahead and say something more." Ramananda Roy replied, "Devotional service mixed with empiric knowledge is the essence of perfection. Brahmabhuta prashanatmana shochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param." Ramananda Roy continued. This is also Bhagavad Gita. According to the Bhagavad Gita, one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, one attains pure devotional service to me. So this describes that one who has transcendently realized nashochati na kankshati is not lamenting for anything that is supposedly is lost, and he's not desiring anything, doesn't have any material aspirations. So he's not... So this is normally characterized by the sensations. I lost, I lost, I lost, I want, I want, I want. It's kind of a summary of material existence. I want, I want, I want, I lost, I lost, I lost. That's you know. Nashochati na kankshati. It's not lamenting for what he's lost and not desiring something for which he's eager to gain. Nashochati, no lamentation and no desiring. Samasarveshu bhuteshi madbhaktim labate param. If one is on that transcendental platform, then one can engage purely in the devotional service of the Lord. Ramananda Roy continued, according to the Bhagavad Gita, one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state he attains pure devotional service unto me. Prabhu kohe ehobaya age kohoar, Raya kohe jnana shunya bhakti sadyasar. After hearing this, the Lord, as usual, rejected it, considering it to be external devotional service. He again asked Ramananda Roy to speak further. Ramananda Roy replied, "Pure devotional service without any touch of speculative knowledge is the essence of perfection. Jnane prayasa mudapashyanamanta eva shivanti san mukaritam bhavadiyavartam stanistita shruti gatam tanuvan manobir hya prayaso jita jitopi asitaistrilokyam." Ramananda Roy continued, Lord Brahma said, "My dear Lord, those devotees who have thrown away the impersonal conception of the Absolute Truth and have therefore abandoned discussing empiric philosophical truths, should hear from self-realized devotees about your holy name, form, pastimes, and qualities. They should completely follow the principles of devotional service and remain free from illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, and animal slaughter. Surrendering themselves fully with body, words, and mind, they can live in any ashram or social status. Indeed, you are conquered by such persons, although you are always unconquerable. Prabhu kohe eho hoy age koho ar, Raya kohe prima bhakti sarva sadyasar. At this point, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "This is all right, but still you can speak more on the subject." Ramananda replied, "Ecstatic love for the Supreme Personality of God is the essence of all perfection." So previously, Mahaprabhu was saying everything is external, and he rejected it. But this time, Mahaprabhu, after hearing about Jnana-shunya Bhakti, devotional service, free from all other kinds of, for all considerations of jnana or knowledge, and then being under the direction of a devotee, then Mahaprabhu says, "Eho hoy age kohar." This is all right, but still continue speaking of something more. So this verse is now the first verse where Mahaprabhu says, yes, now, but please continue developing this. Jnane prayasamudapasyanamanta eva jivanti san mukaritam bhavadiyavartam stani stita shrutigatam tanu vam manobir yaprayaso jita jitopi asi tais trilokyam. So rejection of external mundane knowledge and direction by hearing from devotees, discussing about the Supreme Lord, engaging in devotional service with body, mind, and intelligence. This can conquer the unconquerable Lord. And then Mahaprabhu says, okay, this is acceptable, this is nice. But now continue developing upon this. At this point, Mahaprabhu, Prabhu kohe eho hoy age kohoar, Raya kohe prema bhakti sarva sadyasar. At this point, Mahaprabhu replied, all right, but if you can still speak more, you can speak more on the subject. Ramananda Raya then replied, ecstatic love for the Supreme Lord is the essence of all perfection. Nano Pachara krita pujanam artabando premnaiva bhakta ridayam shuka vidrutam shat yavat shud asti zatare jaratapi pasha tavat sukaya bhavato nanu bhakshapeye. Ramananda Roy continued, as long as there is hunger and thirst within the stomach, varieties of food and drink make one very happy. Similarly, when the Lord is worshipped with pure love, the various activities performed in the course of that worship awaken transcendental bliss in the heart of the devotee. So this analogy is very nice. When you're hungry and you're thirsty, and if you eat or something or drink something, it gives you happiness. So if you have that kind of hunger and thirst for the Lord, when the Lord is worshipped with pure love, those various activities performed in the course of that worship awaken transcendental bliss, awaken happiness in the heart of the devotee. So it is said, like, you should have some hunger and thirst for the service and the activities of the Lord. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita mati kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate tatra loyam api muyam ekalam janma koti sukritar na labhyate. Pure devotional service and Krishna consciousness cannot be had, even by pious activity in hundreds and thousands of lives. It can be attained only by paying one price, that is, intense greed to obtain it. If it is available somewhere, one must purchase it without delay. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita mati kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate tatra loyam api Muyamekalam janmakoti sukritarna labhyate. Means you can only attain devotional service if you have great or intense eagerness to have it. That's the price that you have to pay. Just like so many things that one endeavors to get in this life. You know, people are making so much, they have so much intense desire to attain some material success in life, and they work so hard for that. Well, in devotional service, you won't get it unless you have some intense desire to have it. Then you can have it. So at this point, I'm going to stop. Tomorrow we'll continue, because first it's saying loyam. This is the price. You have to have some desire. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that if they were selling love of Godhead or if they were selling Krishna consciousness in the marketplace, you should buy it immediately, regardless of the price. It is that valuable. Of course, they're not just selling this like a material commodity, but you have to have that loyam. You have to have that intense desire to acquire it. That is the price that you have to pay. Prabhu kohe eho hoy age koho ar raya kohe dasya prema sarva sadyasar. Hearing up to the point of spontaneous love, the Lord says, this is all right, but if you know more, please tell it. In reply, Ramananda Raya says, spontaneous loving service and servitude as exchanged by master and servant is the highest perfection. So you can see how much Ramananda Raya, Mahaprabhu is saying, speak more, and Ramananda Raya cites so many beautiful verses, and he's elevating the conversation. He's elevating the level of devotional service that he's responding to more and more. You can see how educated he is, even though he says, I'm a Sudra, I'm just a mundane person, but he is able to speak so nicely on the levels of advancement of devotional service. So now I'm going to sing Hari Haraya. Okay. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jarabaya Nama Jarabaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Maranamon Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Garanara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raguna Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jao Ete Vignana Shabishta Puran Jai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas Samar Padarenu Mora Panchagras Hare Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas Janame More Abhilas Jai Gosai Jabe Bhaje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Manjai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Narajamuda Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Narajamuda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nitai Gaurari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Saparikara Shri Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Juki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Statara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Statara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupa Nuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattadasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premzigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad ki jai, Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu ki jai, Jai Om Vishnupad Vishvavarenya, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Brinda ki jai. Sri Navadip Dham ki jai. Sri Mayapur ki jai. Saparshada Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Saparshada Sri Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Koladvip ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram ki jai, Ganga Devi ki jai, Tulasi Maharani ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan, Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Sri Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.